Buffalo, but here's the thing. It just occurred to me with you running your trap for a second that we should have talked to Kaitlin about doing Danielle's podcast, How to Survive.
That would have been
because that story makes more sense to be on that podcast.
Not too late. We got the scoop.
Well, Sean has the scoop.
Just cut it, and I'll go and elaborate more over there.
Yeah, give them the full story.
Yeah.
But you certainly, if you're that big of a clod, something else had to happen.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I can talk about the time I let someone carry me over the top of his head because he said he's a football player and said he used to pick up cheerleaders.
Yes.
I'm 5'9", I'm not athletic. He did it and then dropped me, and I landed on the street on my hip and broke my back.
Jesus Christ!
In production.
What the fuck?
Why would you say yes?
Because it sounded like an awesome idea. Have you ever been picked up by a giant football player?
I have been picked up by a giant wrestler.
Nice? Yeah. He held me over his head. I was like 12 feet in the air. It was awesome until I broke my back.
I can't. When I did an interview when I worked at Conan, I would do these backstage interviews. And who's the Irish guy? The Irish
I can't
wrestler.
remember his name now.
Wrestler or UFC?
He's a.
It was WWE.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. What's he called? The Leprechaun or something?
Seamus McFlannery.
Seamus,
or whatever.
I don't know.
It might just be Seamus.
Cloverleaf asshole. I don't know what he's called.
The Mick. No, that's
Seamus. So I'm interviewing him, and then I said, I forget how it came up. Can you show me some moves? And then he goes, yeah, I can. And he lifted me up and put me above it. And like I'm playing that I'm scared, but then at some point I'm scared.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's going to be holy fuck. I really don't want you to do this.
Yeah.
And then I got scared that he would drop me. So this gentleman drops you.
Fear. Yeah.
And did you how did it break your back? Did you land on something?
So.
Wait, this
to
is
be
for
fair,
the
it was
show.
4th of
No,
July.
we're getting the scoop. Danielle's out.
It was 4th of July, and we were at a rooftop party, and he tried it there, and Rob came over and was like, can you not let someone lift you up on the roof of a building? And I was like, okay, I'll wait till we get down. And this is like several beers later. So when we were down on the street, that's when I let him do it. And so I landed on my side, on my hip, and it broke my sacrum.
Oh my God! So
that's something I've never heard of.
And what kind of
my sacrum?
Yeah,
I'll tell you all about it.
We've never heard of it. What kind of cast do they put you in? Like for
nothing. You can't. You just can't move. Yeah. So and we lived. Rob and I lived in a 3-story townhouse at the time, and he'd have to. And my mom flew into town to take care of me because we were in production.
Melinda came in. I told you she's a nurse.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do anything for me.
After that screw up with the head.
I know.
obviously.
She's got to make it up. She's a lot smaller than me, and she would piggyback me up and down the stairs.
Melinda would give you a ride.
She would. Yeah. I mean, Rob would do it if he was there, but I couldn't. And one time Rob brought me downstairs and then set me down because I could stand on my left leg, just not my right. And then he went and took a phone call, and I was stranded in the middle of the living room. And I just realized I couldn't get to the couch, and I couldn't get to the
couldn't
kitchen.
crawl. You couldn't do anything.
So I was so I realized I could get on my stomach and kind of army crawl.
Yeah.
And that's how I could get around. So stupid.
And you said that you were in production.
Yes.
And so are there scenes with you in this condition? Like, are you just sitting in a chair or something?
No, they'd wheelchair me in and then plant me somewhere, and I'd just be sitting.
Right,
Although that is the season where they waterboarded me. And so, which by the way, in and of itself was absolutely terrifying. They were like, oh, don't worry. We've got this, wetsuit material. Well, water goes through a wetsuit material. It was so, I'm a person who, I'm not afraid of much, but I cannot get water up my nose. I cannot flip in the pool. If I jump in, I hold my nose. I don't care what it looks like. I hate water in the nose. They waterboarded me, and they tried really hard. They didn't know I was going to break my back. But if you see that scene, I'm on the waterboard, but both my hands are underneath, supporting my back to try and keep the pressure off of it. And drowning, and it was a bad day.
They couldn't just maybe shoot that episode and never another season?
We were I wasn't going to allow that to happen. This was my fault. Okay. I was don't change a thing. Yeah. We just might have to alter the blocking a little bit. I'm so sorry. I was the buffoon who let someone pick me up.
Luckily your husband runs the show. So there's a little bit of a...
Yeah, and he also knows I'm a buffoon.
Yeah. There's no question.
To hear the whole conversation, subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, or visit nevernotfunny.com.